The memory of that night in 1990 has never faded for those who witnessed the storm that swept through the quiet town on the edge of the Mississippi woods. Thunder cracked the sky with a force that rattled windows and sent families scrambling to safety. In a modest house at the end of Willow Lane, the Carter family huddled together, sheltering from the tempest outside. Among them were the Carter triplets, Emma, Eli, and Evelyn, barely 5 years old. Their faces pressed to the glass as lightning streaked the sky in brilliant arcs. The storm was the fiercest in decades. Rain lashed the rooftops, trees bowed under the weight of the wind, and the power flickered, then died, in the confusion with the sound of falling branches and the wail of sirens in the distance. The triplets vanished. In the morning, when the world was quiet and the storm had moved on, the Carter home was intact. But the children were gone. Search parties combed the woods for days, calling their names and scouring the muddy banks of the nearby creek. Flyers went up in storefronts, and news crews arrived, their cameras capturing the desperate hope in the eyes of the Carter family. But as weeks passed, leads dwindled, and the town settled into a mournful acceptance. The triplets, it seemed, had been swallowed by the storm. 20 years passed. The world changed. The woods grew thicker around the old Carter house, and new families settled in the neighborhood, unaware of the story that haunted its edges. Nathan Carter, the eldest brother, carried the weight of that night into adulthood. His memories of his siblings were vivid. A flash of blonde hair, shared laughter, the feel of their small hands in his. He had been just 8 at the time, old enough to remember, but too young to understand. Nathan never stopped searching. Even as life pulled him away, first to college, then to work in a nearby city, he returned to Willow Lane each year on the anniversary of the storm. He would walk the woods, tracing paths he had memorized as a child, hoping for a sign. His parents, now older and grayer, welcomed his visits but discouraged his obsession. "Some things," his mother would say quietly, "are best left in the past," but Nathan could not let go. In 2017, on the 20th anniversary, he returned once again. This time, the woods were thick with summer growth, the air humid and heavy with the scent of pine and earth. He moved slowly, methodically, following a route along the old creek bed. The water was low, and the banks were lined with tangled roots and fallen branches. As he rounded a bend, something caught his eye, a glint of metal half buried in the mud. He knelt and brushed away the dirt to reveal a small silver locket, engraved with the initials EC. Nathan's hands shook as he recognized it. It had belonged to Emma, the eldest triplet by minutes. She had worn it every day, a gift from their grandmother. Heart racing, Nathan began to dig, his fingers working through the wet earth. Beneath the locket, he found more. A faded piece of fabric, the remnants of a child's dress, and then something harder, a small tin box sealed with rust. Inside were 3 drawings, preserved against all odds, stick figures, childish handwriting, and the word safe scrawled in crayon. Nathan sat back in the mud, overwhelmed by a rush of emotion. These were not just remnants. They were signs, messages from the past. He took the items to local authorities, reigniting interest in the case. News crews returned to Willow Lane, and the town buzzed with speculation. Theories abounded. Had the triplets run away? Had they been taken? Or had the storm hidden their escape into the woods, where they had tried to survive on their own? Forensic teams scoured the creek, uncovering more clues. A child's shoe, a plastic toy, a weathered backpack containing a faded photograph of the 3 siblings smiling broadly, arm in arm. Each discovery deepened the mystery. There was no evidence of foul play, but neither was there any trace of the triplets themselves. It was as if they had vanished into thin air, leaving only these fragments behind. As the investigation resumed, Nathan became the focal point of the renewed search. He appeared on talk shows, pleaded for information, and retraced his steps with detectives and volunteers. The story captured national attention, drawing comparisons to other high-profile missing persons cases. The Carter triplets became a symbol of hope and heartbreak for families everywhere who had lost loved ones to the unknown. Meanwhile, In Ellisville, Mississippi, a remarkable coincidence was unfolding. In June 2025, two families, both named Crawford, welcomed two sets of triplets within months of each other. Nicole and Jason Crawford's triplets, Jack, Cherish, and Rivers, arrived in December 24. Marissa and Dusty Crawford's triplets, Bronk, Barnett, and Birdie, were born in April 25. The families, connected by social media and their shared experience, quickly became local celebrities. Their stories a testament to the joys and challenges of raising multiples. Their experiences, so different from the Carters, nonetheless echoed the same themes: the delicate balance of hope and anxiety, the bonds of family, and the unpredictability of life. As the Crawfords navigated sleepless nights and endless diaper changes, the Carter case lingered in the public imagination. A mystery without resolution, a story still seeking its ending. Elsewhere, the disappearance of siblings Lily and Jack Sullivan in Nova Scotia captured headlines. In May 2025, the 5- and 3-year-old siblings vanished under mysterious circumstances, prompting a massive search and a government reward of up to $50,000 for information. Despite extensive efforts, the case remained unsolved, a poignant reminder of how quickly children can disappear and how desperately families cling to hope. Back in Mississippi, Nathan's discovery prompted new searches and a wave of public tips. Psychics offered their insights, and amateur sleuths scoured the internet for connections. Some believed the triplets had been swept away by the storm, their remains scattered and hidden by time. Others insisted they had been taken, perhaps by someone known to the family. A few even suggested more fantastical theories: secret tunnels beneath the woods, hidden communities, or even a witness protection relocation. But for Nathan, the truth was less important than the act of searching. The locket, the drawings, the backpack, all were proof that his siblings had left a mark on the world, that their story was not forgotten. He took comfort in the knowledge that others still cared, that the mystery endured. As months passed, the investigation slowed once more. The leads grew cold and the news cycle moved on. But for Nathan and his family, and for the town that had watched the storm sweep away 3 children, the questions remained. What had happened that night in 1997? Where had the triplets gone? And what did the clues Nathan had found truly mean? The Carter home, now weathered and quiet, still stood at the end of Willow Lane. Each year, on the anniversary of the storm, neighbors gathered to light candles and remember the triplets, Emma, Eli, and Evelyn, whose laughter once echoed through the halls. Nathan, now grown, would walk the woods with his own children, telling them stories of their lost aunts and uncle. He would show them the locket, the drawings, the photograph, and explain that sometimes life's greatest mysteries have no answers. But he would also tell them about the Crawfords and the Sullivans, about families who loved fiercely and never gave up hope. He would remind them that even in the face of loss, there is strength in community, in memory, and in the simple act of searching for the truth. In a world where stories of missing children often end in heartbreak, the Carter triplets became a symbol, not just of loss, but of the enduring power of love, and the belief that somewhere, somehow, the answers might still be found. For Nathan, the discovery he made that summer day in 2017 was not just about finding artifacts in the mud. It was about reconnecting with his past, honoring the siblings he had lost, and carrying their memory forward. It was a reminder that, even after 20 years, the bonds of family are never truly broken, and that the search for answers, however difficult, is always worth pursuing. The town of Willow Lane, forever changed by the events of that stormy night, grew quieter as the years passed. But the story of the Carter triplets lived on, woven into the fabric of local legend, whispered by parents to their children, retold at campfires and family gatherings. Each new clue, each fresh theory, became part of a collective effort to keep their memory alive. And so as the sun set over the Mississippi woods, casting long shadows through the trees, Nathan Carter stood on the banks of the old creek, the locket warm in his hand. He closed his eyes and listened, not just for the echoes of the past, but for the hope that somewhere in the silence, a new story was waiting to be told. The legacy of the Carter triplets, like that of the Crawfords and the Sullivans, is not just one of tragedy. It is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, the enduring power of family, and the unbreakable thread of hope that connects us all, even in the face of the unknown. As time moves forward, new mysteries arise and old ones linger. But the lessons remain the same. Cherish those you love, never stop searching, and remember that even when answers seem out of reach, the act of remembering is itself a form of healing. In the end, the story of the Carter triplets is more than a tale of disappearance. It is a story of love, of loss, and of the remarkable ways in which families and communities come together in the face of the unimaginable. It is a story that reminds us all that sometimes the greatest discoveries are not about finding what was lost, but about finding the strength to keep going, to keep hoping, and to keep loving no matter what the storm may bring.